the best Persian proverbs and sayings. Please don't forget to subscribe. Whoever has no children has no light in his eyes. Whatever you eat will rot, whatever you give will blossom into a rose. When the tide of misfortune moves over you, even jelly will break your teeth. Do not use words that are too big for your mouth. To the ant, a few drops of dew are a flood. Life is like perpetual drunkenness. The pleasure passes, but the headache remains. When fortune turns against you, even jelly breaks your teeth. Who does not beat his own child will later beat his own breast. It is a wise man who can laugh at his own jokes. Thinking well is wise, planning well, wiser, but doing well is the wisest and best of all. The tears of the roasting meat kindle the fire even more. In at one ear and out at the other. In the hotel of decisions the guests sleep well. I can only get better if I have good friends. The arrow that has left the bow never returns. A child is a bridge to heaven. You cannot hang everything on one nail. It is a real compliment that comes from an enemy. If you can give me no ointment for my wound, can you help me by not rubbing salt in? Every man is the architect of his own fortune. Once I had the strength but no wisdom. Now I have the wisdom but no strength. The larger a man's roof, the more snow it collects. He whose heart is aroused by love will never die. You cannot applaud with one hand. The drowning man is not troubled by rain. An arrow can be pulled out of a wound, but a hurtful word stays forever in your heart. He who has only one enemy meets him everywhere. The leek resembles its seed, and little Hassan takes after his father. Our real grave is not in the ground, but in men's hearts. When the cat and the mouse agree, the grocer is ruined. With a sweet tongue of kindness, you can drag an elephant by a hair. Women are just like cats, they always land on their feet. The virtuous will be praised but not envied. If the Sultan demands 5 eggs, let his soldiers roast 1,000 chickens. Acquaintance without patience is like a candle with no light. The strictness of the teacher is better to bear than the prejudice of the father. You don't put a wooden pot on the fire twice. There are 3 things that have to be done quickly: burying the dead, opening the door for a stranger, and fixing your daughter's wedding. God gives to us according to the measure of our hearts. There is no need for fish in an empty pond. The world is a rose, smell it and pass it on to your friends. As soon as a man gets new trousers, he thinks about a new wife. Epigrams succeed where epics fail. A thief is a king till he's caught. The lover who gives you her body but not her heart is generous with thornless roses. While yearning for excess, we lose the necessities. Do well the little things now, so shall great things come to thee by and by asking to be done. The earth is a host who kills his guests. If a fool borrows a book, cut off his hand, but cut off both hands of the fool who brings it back. A greedy man is always poor. With one ear he hears, and with the other he dismisses. A stone thrown at the right time is better than gold given at the wrong time. A timely tear is better than a misplaced smile. Where the camel is sold for a cent, the ass is worthless. One sin is too much, 100 prayers are not enough. Make bread while the oven is hot. The best memory is that which forgets nothing but injuries. The way a house is decorated will tell much about its owner. A friend is like a poem. As the wise man looks for a bridge, the fool crosses the river. I wept because I had no shoes, until I saw a man who had no feet. It is nothing for one to know something unless another knows you know it. A man without passion is no son of Adam. A man without a child is a king without sorrows. A sharp tongue will cut off its own head. Who has not had a taste longs to do so, but for whom has tasted, then the longing is 100 times more. The cripple will always find a stone to kick. Credit is better than wealth. It is not from the love of God that the cat catches mice. Fear those who do not fear God. It takes 2 days to learn everything about a man. To know animals you will need more time. Often the best way of giving oneself what one lacks is to take from oneself what one has. Give 9, save 10. Woe is he who claims to have found happiness. A man's servant can live for 100 years, the slave of a woman dies in 6 months. Every man is the king of his own beard. Every man goes down to his death bearing in his hands only that which he has given away. What is brought by the wind will be carried away by the wind. A blind man who sees is better than a sighted man who is blind. The lack of gold only a headache. You can't pick up 2 melons with one hand. He who doesn't go to war roars like a lion. Use your enemy's hand to catch a snake. Walls have mice and mice have ears. There are 3 kinds of enemy: the enemy himself, the friends of your enemy, and the enemies of your friends. Giving advice to the ignorant is like the rain falling on muddy ground. He who knows not, and knows not that he knows not, is a fool. Shun him. He who knows not, and knows that he knows not, is a child. Teach him. He who knows, and knows not that he knows, is asleep. Wake him. He who knows, and knows that he knows, is wise. Follow him. For walls make a man free. If you tell the truth too early, you are laughed at, too late and you are stoned. He is still alive because he cannot afford a funeral. When a cat wants to eat her kittens, she says they look like mice. If one has to jump a stream and knows how wide it is, he will not jump. If he does not know how wide it is, he will jump, and 6 times out of 10 he will make it. Do not let the cat watch over the bacon. If there are 2 cooks in one house, the soup is either too salty or too cold. The bride who wears 4 petticoats has a lot to hide. Luck is infatuated with the efficient. Bribery makes both parties happy. He who wants the rose must respect the thorn. Flies will easily fly into the honey, their problem is how to get out. The bigger a man's head, the worse his headache. A camel does not drink with a spoon. A gentle hand may lead even an elephant by a single hair. To sin in secret is more pleasant than having pleasure in the open. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out videos you see on the screen. Have a good day.